Welcome to our next session. So we have Mr. Praveen Kumar, Field Marketing Consultant, Client Solution Group from Dell Technologies. So Praveen sir, hi, welcome Praveen sir, namaste sir. Welcome to the 17th World Education Summit. So I request all the audience to stay for the exclusive session for the Dell Technologies with the dynamic personality from the Praveen Kumar, who will explore the innovations and the initiative that has been taken by the Dell Technologies in the higher education domain. So Praveen sir, so next 15 to 20 minutes is over to you to explore all the innovation that we will come. Then after that, we will come to the Q&A section. And I request all the audience, if you have any questions, you directly put us. We will take all the questions live with the Praveen sir. Over to you, Praveen sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abhishek. And
And
I hope my audio is loud and clear for everybody to see. And I'm visible on the screen, right? So
yes,
just,
yes,
yeah. So I'm going to share my screen quickly and just quick comms check if you guys are able to see.
yes, we are able to see, sir, Praveen sir, clear and loud.
Awesome. Thank you. So, and my presentation is also visible.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much for presenting this great opportunity to talk to you guys today. I think it's pretty much a challenging situations, and we all are praying to come back from this. I'm more excited the way technology has been incorporated in several institutions. I think this needed that great push, despite the negative effects of the pandemic. There is a lot of positive sides of technology adoptions, which is happening in the corporate world. It's happening in the learning environment also. I'm going to take some time today to explain to you what's happening, what are the technologies available today at your disposal, what do you need to clearly think about while you implement some solutions in your organizations. So we will talk about the key strategies for what we call it as a flexible learning solutions. Mind you, it's no longer remote learning solutions. You've got to enter into a new era where you move from a fixed to a remote, now to a more flexible solutions. Tomorrow, industry experts say when the pandemic comes again, you may have to be ready once again. There is just a one virus. There could be another wave. There could be something in the future. We have to be prepared for it. And technology is a boon for us. So we call this a flexible learning solutions. Right? Look, three key things which we thought we will highlight about a lot in terms of in your readiness and preparedness, right, for a seamless learning solutions. One is the deployment strategy. How are we going to get this technology deployed? Two is security, and three is about the support systems. Now, it's good to have devices, but as an organization, as an institutions, do you need to really invest on support systems? We say no. How do you get adapted to that? Now, if you really look into the traditional deployment which is happening, you might have placed an order, and then you bring all the PCs or laptops or devices, whatever you bring it to your office premises or your school premises. You install all your applications into it, and then you pack it back again. Maybe you have dispatched it to each and every student or every parent or wherever it is across, or you come and ask them to collect it back. They open it and then they use it again. So that's the traditional deployment. A lot of interim process, multi-touch points. But what industry is looking at today is to cut all the layers in between, get you to a modern deployment process. The modern deployment process says, hey, you place an order today. The PC manufacturers or the device manufacturers has capacity to ship it out directly to you, the end user. It could be a student, could be a professor or an administrator, wherever he's based out of. And when he presses the button, what you want him to see, what are the applications he needs to use, what kind of access level, grants level, everything is ready from the word go. All he needs to do is put in his domain ID and password. That's about it. That's the modern deployment process. Industry has a lot of automation technologies to get this done on the back end, on the cloud, or at the factory itself. You can send your applications to our factory, the custom applications which you want to burn it. We will burn it in the factory and then directly ship it to the end user. Makes your job easier. And as an educational institution, you can actually focus on your core strength rather than investing on folks to govern or manage the IT part of it. Now, most importantly, you need to have a support process. You could possibly have one or two persons, managing this. How many of you have already faced this? That students call out issues in their PCs, issues in their devices. They're unable to take classes. They're unable to take exams from them because their devices is not working. Of course, they're not going to be IT proficient to manage that support level issues. And you would probably not have the flexibility to man all these PCs. So you'd need a trusted partner who would give you an automated solution, self-healing and proactive solutions, where you could diagnose a problem upfront, get it resolved. You don't have any manual intervention in this whole thing. Most importantly, when you're enabling technology to students and faculty members, security is absolutely key. So the amount of data which is being collected today in this world is phenomenal. Everybody wants to gain access. Now, you may be wondering why security for an education. It's absolutely important. You don't want unwanted professionals to peek into what you're learning, peek into what they're doing, collect everything what they're doing, and probably one point of time they even hijack your entire platform, right? So if you realize, industry experts have always called this out. 99.9% of the threats or security issues originate from the endpoint devices, from your laptop, from your desktops, at your mobile phones, whatever tablets or devices, etc. Right? Now, user behavior cannot be restricted. You need to imbibe automated solutions to detect, prevent, and respond to threats. And of course, it's very difficult to invest on security features. Now, you should also look at not just about implementing a security software or a management solution, but also look at what are the devices having security as. In case you had to have an ID and password, you want to enable technologies like facial recognition in some of your institutions, you need to have inbuilt hardware level security to protect your BIOS, to protect your ID. Also, try and have enablement in terms of digital privacy screen, because this is going to be a flexible solution. Tomorrow, when you're traveling, you don't want somebody else to look into your notebook. We also have already entered an era of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Now, machine learning and artificial intelligence in your PCs today gives you more and more productivity. That's the key, right? Why would machine learning come into this? Every user or every student, every faculty is unique. He would probably use the system in a different way than another person is using. So artificial intelligence and machine learning today understands how the user uses his device, what kind of resources he needs, how much memory, how much of computing capacity, and so on and so forth, and gives him everything, tunes the application to that. When you start this and start using this, probably in about 2 weeks' time, you'll suddenly see that systems are more responsive. They're not hanging. They're not taking so much of battery backup. They're more responsive. They work more flexibly well, responding to the user's demand. Audio solutions is absolutely key. You need to have now a conference type solution, conference room, meeting room, or a classroom kind of solutions. So technologies such as Wave Max Audio Pro, they help you to cancel noise, reduce echoes, gives you the best-in-class volume output, also seamless, digital mic arrays, and so on and so forth. So having technologies on audio and video is also absolutely key. It's just not about the device, because you need to have clarity as well. Most importantly, we highly recommend you to talk to any strategist who's an expert and a domain expert on that particular field. One vendor who could actually collaborate all the solutions together. Trust on that partner. If you're going to imbibe Google solutions, Google Classrooms, or Microsoft Classrooms, or any other solutions from an independent software vendor, you'll need to also talk to the hardware vendor and see if he or she can incorporate everything at one box solution, out of the box, immediate readiness. So that's very, very important. Somebody who can support, somebody who can help, empower you with various technologies, advocate for your technology innovations, also give you the ideas to market it, develop and define how the roles the technology needs to play in your organization, customize. Everybody has different requirements and different use case scenarios. Not one size fits all institutions, of course. So bank on one trusted partner, somebody like Dell Technologies, who can give you an end-to-end expertise, who have also partnered with a lot of independent software vendors who can bring on board all the solutions which is available and be a one-stop shop for you. Student-led empowering solutions is very key. What's happening in the world today? Data transfer, a lot of data is being generated. So transferring data is essential. Using smaller changes, like using a normal USB type A to a type C makes a difference. Type C technology gives you high data transfer speeds. Go with the latest generation, 8 generations or about technologies in terms of processing capacity. You would have flexibility, choose between Chrome operating system or a Windows operating system. Use something which is trusted and proven. Microsoft and Google alike are bringing a lot of programs to you for flexible learning solutions. Freedom to collaborate. The devices should be able to sync wirelessly or with wire through your external displays or projectors or any other things, using 2-in-1 mode, Type-C connectivity, giving you more battery backup. So smaller things within the device makes significant difference. So invest on those smaller things. 2-in-1 devices, in fact, today gives you more flexibility to use it like a laptop or a tablet, scribble on the tablet, convert it to a digital text, and then you upload it into a cloud or any other learning platform. You should look for devices which are tested for durability and engineered for endurance. Spill-resistant keyboards. It's all about students and people who are not really a corporate professional who are using these machines. So they have a habit of spilling liquids, spilling, dropping the laptops or dropping the PCs, and most importantly, scratch-proof displays. Very good, performance displays. So spill resistance, rubberized edges, which impacts the physical damages, and Corning Gorilla Glass kind of technology. These are absolutely essentials today in your device selections. Most importantly, they have to be serviceable. You cannot buy a device which is not serviceable. Serviceability is absolutely key. The devices should have tens of thousands of hinges cycle tests. We call them, in the PC world, in the PC manufacturer side, we call them military grade tested. Yes, not just for military, but for your students as well. So tens of thousands of hinges cycle tests, because they keep folding the laptops back and forth, back and forth, back and forth again. They keep dropping the laptop. They just throw away their backpack somewhere. So flexible learning solutions needs to have tested, rugged, and enduring devices. Ecosystem is any part of learning productivity. It's one of the key things. It's just not about the device. How do you facilitate more and more interactive solutions? If you have a big screen, touch screen panel with an interactive mode, like a conference monitor or something, it makes your collaboration between multiple students or between the faculty and the students even more easier. Charging cards can be deployed across your institution. Imagine that today students are bringing in, but you can't provision electrical sockets across your institutions tomorrow. Today they have all bought it. Tomorrow they would like to carry it back to your institution's campus. You need to provision something like a charging cards, laser projector, stylus pen where you can scribble on the tablet, on the screen of a 2-in-1, convert it to digital text. Wireless capacities, good audio headsets which are tested for Skype or your Teams or Google Suite or Zoom, whatever it is, which is tested and certified, so that no student falls back stating that I have a problem, I'm not able to hear, or the teacher is not listening to what I'm saying, right? And a good backpack as well. So ecosystem is an integral part for learning productivity. That's the key thing which I want to discuss with you today, what to keep you in mind. Just to quickly summarize, most importantly, what you need to look at it is, what's the deployment solution which can be automated, moving into modern deployment? What are the security things which I can enhance within the devices, which is absolutely key? And who is a trusted partner today, where I can fall back on support services, also on end-to-end, IT deployment. So you don't have to worry about anything, but you fall back on that one solution partner who can give you everything in terms of the right device, right technologies, right solutions, and the right support throughout the lifetime. Thank you for taking your time out today to listen to me of what is very key in terms of learning productivity solutions. And I would be glad to take some of your questions now. Okay, I'm back to here.
Yes.
Right.
Very nice presentation, Praveen sir. So here are some questions. First of all, Praveen sir, that you have talked about regarding the investment in technologies in the education. So can you elaborate that regarding this investment part?
So investments should not be just about getting a device to connect to a meeting room. The investment can also be extended tomorrow. For example, how do I say distribute project works, let the project works come tomorrow, and the students are able to present tomorrow. So your ecosystem investment within the office also is within your campus basically also is very, very important, right? It's just not about laptops. And the most important thing is you need to make investments which could come out of the box, not negotiating with so many multiple vendors. That's very, very
Hmm.
important. You
Yes.
don't probably are not the right expert to negotiate with so many vendors. So
Yes, sir.
bank on one trusted partner who can actually help you and educate you that this is what you need, this is what you need to adopt, and also look at flexible solutions. Today, you might deploy in a smaller scale, but that solution should not end up as a rip and replace solutions after 2 years when you grow. It should have seamless growth path. It could possibly you deploy a solution for 500 packs or a 500 students solution. And you want to bring it up to your higher education, you want to take it out to your other colleges or other institutions which are dependent on you. Everything needs to talk to each other. Look out for open standard investments, right? Open standard technology is absolutely important. Ask any vendor who comes up to you and ask him, is it proprietary? Can I integrate it with any other third party software? That is very important. Ask for open standard solutions. And as I already said, look at an industry player like Dell Technologies who can help you to identify and actually adapt to that, right? So investment should be made not just on the endpoint devices, but also in your campus infrastructure of more collaborative. Now, people have realized that when they do technologies implementation, the students' productivity has superbly increased. Students have now got the confidence capacity to do
Hmm.
presentations, right? They could seamlessly do project presentations, and you're preparing them for the world which is ready for them, right?
Perfect,
So
sir.
that's
So
that's that's important.
I request all the educators that Praveen sir has just raised a important point that trust on the experts only. Don't navigate to various proprietors or any vendors. So trust to the experts. So this is a one of important point, and I request all the educators if you want to catch offline, you can take the offline question with the Praveen sir also. My next question with the Praveen sir that remote education is a major challenge, and in the starting of the presentation you have just mentioned no longer remote solution. So how you are elevating this challenge and what is the main features that you want to take from the Dell technologies to cater this remote education challenge?
I would say, as you rightly mentioned, and I was talking about this earlier, it's no longer going to be only remote.
Yes.
Um, Tomorrow you might have a rainy day, right? You may declare school a holiday, but you would still want to continue the classrooms from where the students are based on. So now what it's become essentially is a flexible learning solution, right? So look into those features specifically where you have common standard. For example, if I have to say talk about videos, right? Videos needs to be now more standard on HDMI technology or a Type C technology. So the ports which you use should be bare minimum HDMI, right? And most importantly, as I said earlier, the devices should have good performance, good technologies, and self-healing one. the most common issue in any remote deployment or a flexible workplace is something happens to the device. Who's going to do that support services?
Yes, yes, this is a major
Right?
concern.
Absolutely. So you need to have machines and software systems which recognizes the issues even before it happens. So AI and ML technologies, along with some of our solutions like Support Assist or Dell Pro Support, for example, it will know that the hard drive is going to fail after 10 days. It's already on the verge of failure, right? So you don't necessarily have to wait for it to fail and then 2 days you're out of the device productivity, somebody replaces it. So it goes for understanding the troubleshooting automatically. It triggers a mail to the Dell technical support, and the support engineer will check the messages and send a replacement part automatically wherever you want it to be. The student doesn't even realize that something is happening in this laptop, and in fact, we have prevented it before the failure could happen. So support system, proactive and predictive one is very, very important. That's the main, and that's one of the key things for it. And of course, modern deployment, as I said earlier, you place an order, we directly ship it to the end user. You don't have to worry about anything. When he switches on the PC, everything is ready for him.
Thanks, Praveen. Thanks for raising out this point. So I request all the school, higher education, the school dignitaries who are watching us and watching and noting down the Praveen sir points. So there is a proper solution for the remote education. So if any person who is running their higher education institute in the remote area, so we have a Dell Technologies is providing the Dell Pro support that is led by the AI and the automations. So I think you must go to for the Dell solutions to have avail the all the challenges that you are facing in the remote education. So, Praveen sir, my last question to you: what are your future plans regarding this to cater this digital education? Because post-COVID things has been changed. So, how you are looking after this market? That how this education industry is going to be work out in this digital domain?
Uh, Thank you so much. That's a brilliant question. And in fact, we are now, as a country, investing a lot in terms of developing skill sets, right? As you can see, the Make in India push, Atmanirbhar concept, which
Yes.
is coming in, being self-reliant, is actually driving more skill sets requirement. So technical education is absolutely key. So Dell Technologies has already envisioned this. In fact, we've been talking to several leading technical institutions already. It's that hey, these are something solutions which is ready, and you can get your students prepared when you, especially when they are in higher education and if they are going into pre-university or already in their university levels. For example, now modern devices come with augmented reality concepts. You can have virtual reality compatible devices today. People in lot many education and technical institutions perhaps are dependent on it because manufacturing is even becoming modernized. IT is becoming modernized. So you get the students to prepare for the world which is there outside by your own local infrastructure. And we have good technical machines, workstations, which you can deploy into your lab, where you can have virtual reality experience. We give you virtual reality classes. Students can not only just learn theoretically, but also experience them virtually, right? So I think that is going to be the next big step. Having VR, AR, AI, machine learning capacities right into your labs, right into your students' devices, and right into your classrooms as well, right? So we spoke about interactive monitors, how three people can come together, draw something over their creative solution, right? And that can be streamed live also. So that's the technology, and it's already in your doors today. We would be glad to help any of the institutions. If you want to hear more about how you can get the teaching, technical teaching to the next level, we'll be most happy to assist you.
Perfect, sir. And thank you, Praveen. Thank you for giving out your precious time to us. And I request all the educator, all the audience that have listened to Praveen. So if you have any question, if you want to avail the solution of Dell, we have a team, we have a expo area of Dell Technologies. You can drop your query directly to the Dell and they will assist you in any manner. We have a one feedback form also from the Dell Technologies. I request all audience to fill that feedback form, and our team, Dell Technologies team, will get back to you and will help out in any manner. So thank you, Praveen. Thank you for giving out your precious time, and best wishes for the future endeavors. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abhishek, and it was my pleasure addressing this audience today.